Hello students, welcome to my channel. Class 12th NCERT Physics Lab Activity, Section B, Activity number 1, to identify a diode, a LED, a transistor, an IC, a resistor and a capacitor from a mixed collection of such items. Aim: to identify a diode, a LED, a transistor, an IC, a resistor and a capacitor from a mixed collection of such items. Apparatus and material required: multimeter, a collection of diode, LED, transistor, IC, resistors and capacitors. Principle: a diode is a two-terminal device. It conducts when forward biased and does not conduct when reverse biased. It does not emit light while conducting. A LED, light emitting diode, is also a two-terminal device. It conducts when forward biased and does not conduct when reverse biased. It emits light while conducting. A transistor is a three-terminal device. The terminal represent emitter, base and collector. An IC, integrated circuit, is a multi-terminal device in the form of a chip, but some may have only three terminals. For example, 7805, 7806, 7809, 7912. A resistor is a two-terminal device. It conducts equally in both directions. A capacitor is a two-terminal device. It does not conduct but stores some charge when DC voltage is applied. Procedure: check the physical appearance of the component A. If it has 4 or more terminals and has the appearance of a chip, black rectangular block, then it is an IC. If it has 3 terminals, the component may be transistor. If the component has 2 terminals, it could be a resistor, a capacitor, a diode or a LED. Look for color bands. If it has a typical set of 3 color bands followed by a silver or gold band, then the component is a resistor. Connect the multimeter terminals. If the multimeter shows an equal deflection in both the directions, the component is a resistor. If the deflection is accompanied with the emission of light in the direction and in one direction and a much less or zero deflection in the other direction, the component is a LED. If the multimeter does not show any deflection in the direction and shows deflection with no light emission in the other direction, then the component is a diode. If the multimeter does not show any deflection on connecting its terminal either way to the component, it is a capacitor, but if capacitance of capacitor is large, multimeter may show a momentary deflection. Record your observation in table A and B. These are the collections named as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J and K. This is collection of diode, LED, resistor, capacitor, transistor and ICs. And we have to recognize that A, B, C, D, E. For what is this? Then first of all, in table A, checking for the number of terminals. 2 terminals, 3 terminals, more than 3. In figure, A, B, C, D, F, G and K are 2 terminals, E and J are 3 terminals, H and I are more than 3 terminals. That is, name the device: diode, capacitor, diode, LED. These are the 2 terminal devices. Transistor is the 3 terminal device. IC is more than 3 devices. Table B, checking for the state of conduction. State of conduction, device code, name of the device. Conduct in one direction only without any emission of light. Device code IN4007, that is a diode. Conduct in one direction only with emission of light. LED. There is no specification on device. 3 terminals device conduct in one direction only between central terminal and either of the remaining 2 terminal. BC 160NP 2N3904, these are the transistors. Conduct in both direction, resistors. Does not conduct, gives an initial deflection which decays to 0, 4 MFD written on the device, and this is a capacitor. Result: a diode, a LED, a transistor, an IC, a resistor and capacitors are identified respectively from a mixed collection. Precautions: while obtaining resistance of any component, clean its leads properly. Sources of errors: when the metal ends of a multimeter leads are touched, the multimeter should show 0 resistance. If it is not so, it bring the pointer to 0 using 0 ADJ knob on the multimeter. If it is not done, the resistance measurement are not reliable. While checking resistance of a component, avoid touching either of the metal ends of the multimeter leads. Body resistance is parallel with component resistance can affect the resistance measurement. Thanks for watching.